Hello, little friends. Welcome back. Today is going to be the last day this week that we talk about compound words. We will come back to compound words in the future, but after today, we're going to pause and move on to another topic. So I thought today would be a little bit extra challenging. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to choose compound words that after you listen and you figure out the two words, you're going to wonder, I wonder why those two words combined to make this new object. So let's talk about compound words for a second. Let's review. So compound words are big words made up of two or more little words. And lots of times those words make sense together to make this new thing. When you take the two little words, each of those little words has its own meaning. But then when you combine them, it means something totally new. So let's look at the word horseshoe.
Here's a horseshoe. It's something that goes on a horse's foot to protect it.
So horseshoe is a compound word made up of horse and shoe. Do you guys know what a horse is? That's right, a horse is an animal that you can ride on, a big animal that you see at a farm. That's what a horse is. It has its own meaning, the word horse. And then what about shoe? You guys know what a shoe is, right? A shoe is a type of clothing that we wear on our feet. So if I say the word horse, you guys know what that is. It's an animal. And if I say shoe, you guys know what that is. It's a shoe. But a horseshoe is something completely different. It is a shoe that a horse wears, but it looks completely different. Is a horseshoe a horse? No. And is a horseshoe a shoe? The same kind of shoes that we wear and that we see all the time? No. It is a kind of shoe, but it's not the same as just the word shoe. So when you combine horse and shoe to get horseshoe, it's something completely different and new. So because compound words name something new, sometimes those two words inside of a compound word don't necessarily tell us about that compound word. It's a little bit strange. Up until now, all of the compound words have made sense. We just talked about horseshoe, which is a horse's shoe. That makes sense. But I'm going to give you 4 examples of compound words where you might be scratching your head afterward, wondering or even laughing about why those two words would combine to name this new thing. So you need to listen extra carefully for these 2 words, and after I introduce them all, we're going to come back and talk about each of them.
Our first compound word for today is strawberry. What 2 words do you hear inside of strawberry? Strawberry. Did you hear straw and berry? Straw and berry combine to make the compound word strawberry. Strawberry, strawberry.
So our first compound word was strawberry, and the 2 words that we heard inside of strawberry were straw and berry. The berry part makes sense because the strawberry is a berry. But I'm thinking back to earlier when we did blueberry, and we even talked about blackberries. Blueberries are blue and blackberries are blackish. But strawberry, what do strawberries have to do with straw? It's a little bit funny and a little bit weird, right? But sometimes what's really cool is that you could read about compound words and find out why they're named the way they are. So I read that strawberries are named strawberries because before, a long time ago when you planted them, you would have to put straw, like hay, down on the ground. So it makes sense from a long time ago. But today, we don't even think strawberries have to do with straw. It's a little bit weird and a little bit funny. But still, even though the 2 words might not make sense together, it still is a compound word. So strawberry is a compound word made up of the word straw and the word berry.
Our next compound word is hot dog. What 2 words do you hear inside of the word hot dog? Hot dog. Did you hear hot and dog? Hot and dog are the 2 smaller words that combine to make the compound word hot dog. Hot dog, hot dog.
So our next compound word is hot dog. And hot dog is a compound word that describes a type of food. Now, if you haven't eaten a hot dog, you've probably seen one either at a party or a barbecue or when you were watching sports. If you haven't seen one in person, maybe in a movie or a picture, but a hot dog is a type of food. Now, if we listen to the two words inside of hot dog, they are hot, like the temperature, and dog, like the animal. I think that's really weird. Why is a hot dog made up of hot and dog? But it is a compound word because two words with their own meanings, hot, like the temperature, and dog, like the animal, came together to make something completely different, which is a type of food that you eat at a barbecue.
The next compound word is butterfly. What two smaller words do you hear inside of butterfly? Did you hear butter and fly? Butter and fly are the two smaller words that combine to make the compound word butterfly. Butter, fly, butterfly.
And our next word is butterfly. Butterfly is a compound word that is the name of the insect with big, beautiful wings that flutters around. And the compound word butterfly is made up of two smaller words, butter, the food that we spread onto bread, and fly, which is either the action of moving through the air or the little insect that flies around. So if we look at the two words butter and fly, the fly part makes sense because a butterfly does fly, but the butter part is a little bit weird, right? What does a butterfly have to do with butter? We might be able to find out by reading, but I don't really know. But I do know that butterfly is a compound word because the word butter, which has its own meaning, it's a food, and fly, which has its own meaning, it's an action or an insect, come together to make something completely new, a butterfly, which is an insect with big, beautiful wings that flutters around.
Our last compound word is pineapple. What two smaller words do you hear inside of pineapple? Pineapple. Did you hear pine and apple? When you combine the words pine and apple, you get pineapple. Pine-apple, pineapple.
And for our last compound word, we have another fruit. We already did strawberry, which is a type of berry, and this last type of fruit is not a berry, it's a pineapple. A pineapple is a tropical fruit that's yellow inside. And we've all tried pineapples. I know this because once Allison brought us those chocolate-covered pineapples from Hawaii and we all ate them in the classroom. Do you guys remember? They were delicious. So we know what a pineapple is. Now let's talk about the word pineapple. The word pineapple is a compound word made up of the words pine and apple. The word pine is the name for a tree. We know pine trees because we read Penguin and Pinecone. Pine cones are where pine trees keep their seeds. So when in the story, when they plant the pine cone, it grows up into a big pine tree. That's what the word pine means. It's a tree. The word apple is a fruit. You guys know that because we have apples in the classroom all the time, either sliced up or big and round and whole. So we know what apples are. They're a fruit. Now when you take the word pine, the tree, and the word apple, the fruit, and you put them together, you get pineapple, which is the tropical fruit that's yellow inside that we tried in our classroom. I wonder why they combine the words pine and the word apple. Because a pineapple doesn't grow on a pine tree. It has nothing to do with a pine tree. That's so weird. And while a pineapple is a fruit, it's not an apple. It's a completely different kind of fruit. It doesn't even look like an apple. It's so weird. I don't know why. You probably could read about why, but what we do know is that pineapple is a compound word because the word pine has its own meaning, it's a tree, and the word apple has its own meaning, it's a fruit. And when you combine them, you get something new. Pine, apple makes pineapple, which is its own thing. Sometimes the words that combine have something to do with the compound word, right? Just like horse, shoe becomes horseshoe, which is a shoe for horses. And sometimes, like with pineapple, the two words don't really make sense to make the new thing. But either way, as long as the two words have their own meaning and when they come together they make something new, it's a compound word. So you guys have done an excellent job with compound words this week. We are going to stop after today, and tomorrow we are going to do a journal entry. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Good job. Bye.